the interview and shit like that, so we don't got to do that. But where you from?
I'm Juan, or fuck, LOL. I was born in Colombia, down in South America, but my dad's military, so we moved all over the place. Like, first place I moved was South Carolina, moved up to New Jersey. I ended up living in Germany for about 5 years, like during those growing up periods. Moved back to South Carolina, finished up high school, and did a couple years of college before I moved down to Florida. Uh, got on my music grind AF down in Florida, and now I'm back in Charleston. Just out here trying to claim my crown again.
What did you listen to growing up?
Growing up, sheesh, I had that spinny iPod with all my dad's music.
Mm.
Like it started with like me just going down A to Z, like going down the artists, anything that my dad listened to, I pretty much heard. I remember first time I heard Wu-Tang Clan, I heard Cream, I heard Peanut Butter Jelly Time, like all this shit, and like I was lit. I was like peanut butter jelly.
That's
Yeah,
what's up. That what happened with me and my brother. I did the same thing with my brothers, but he listened to like Papa Roach and like the Nirvanas and stuff like that. So that was my introduction. But I feel that going through the someone else's iPod to find this shit.
yeah, absolutely. Like
You think?
back in middle school, my friend like I had always been into Eminem, but my friend was a really big Eminem fan, so it
Mm,
inspired me to listen to a lot more Eminem music. So I would say
right.
little bit of Eminem. Um, I was like, I never just listened to hip hop. It's mainly like anything, mainly hip hop, electronic pop, like anything that really had like that vibe that I could resonate with is what I would listen to.
Right. Right. That's what's up. Do you think that any of that had an influence on your sound, where you're from, and all the traveling you did, and everything, the diversity of the music you had growing up?
I think I think yes, 100% actually. Like I actually never thought of it like that, but as an artist, I think one of my biggest strengths is my diversity. Some people would think of it it's a weakness, confusing your audience, but I truly believe like if I'm really supposed to be expressing myself, that's me. I've traveled the world, I've seen so many different cultures that like and listened to so many different kinds of music that it's like I just need to do what I want to make in the moment. You know what I mean? Whether it's country music, hip hop music, like EDM, like whatever it is, like I'm just gonna do it and I'm gonna make sure I do it to the best of my ability.
But
It
you still
wasn't
listen to, like, you go.
it wasn't until I heard Yonkers by Tyler the Creator where I really like that was the first time like a song made me go like really on that shit. I was like, oh man, what is this? I've never heard a beat like this. Like and I feel like that's honestly when the dream first like got planted.
But to like get more into music and shit like that, kind of start taking it seriously.
Not even getting it seriously, but like, cause I had been in band before that. You know what I mean? I had
Yeah.
always been in music since like fourth grade. It started off as me like trying to get out of class because I was really disruptive. Like I was the only kid in the class with a behavior chart. You know what I mean? And like it was so bad. I was like, teacher comes in like, you want to join choir and band? You get out of class like on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I was like, fuck yeah, bro! Like anything to get out of this bitch's class, Miss
But
Gilbert. That ass. Fucking but when I moved to Germany, it was around fifth grade. They didn't have an inter like because like it was I was in an upper elementary school in New Jersey. They had band, but when I moved to New Jersey, the fifth grade was considered intermediate school, so it was kind of still elementary school. They didn't have a band, so just overall like because yeah, Yonkers came out right before I was a freshman in high school,
mm,
and I remember like because I wasn't doing music around that time. I had not been in a band for years, but like when I say like planted the seed, like I was really heavy into Tyler Creator, and Tyler Creator was a big proponent of be yourself, do what you want. You know what I mean? And like that to me was very inspiring. Like just do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid of like somebody ridiculing you or the consequences if you know what artist telling you is right. You know what I mean?
yeah, 100%. Were you still listening to like more American or Western music when you were in Germany? Or were you still listening to like what was popular over there and stuff? Or was it similar, what was popular over here and there?
So for me, like this was like before like streaming like boomed, right? Like I
Hmm.
had like Spotify had just barely came out, and I was listening to tunes on Groove Shark. I don't know
Okay.
if you used Groove Shark, but that shit was OG, and we could log into that shit on the computers at school. So I was that was like before I would listen to Tyler, but I would say like just in Germany in general, they did like a lot of like Western pop music. You know what I mean? So as far as the radio goes, yeah, they had a lot of French music, a lot of German music that I vibed with, and like I love some German rap. You know what I mean? German rap is fire. Like just German songs, fire. Like French rap, fire. Like you know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
just different like swag, bro. You know what I mean? It's like listening to Spanish music. Other than the beat, obviously you can feel the rhythm is different, but like the way that they talk, the flow itself is different. It's just another language. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but yeah, I would say like it's always been like just a melting pot of shit I've listened to.
Right. For sure. That's what's up. And then Perfectly Broken. That's the latest one, right? The
Yes, sir.
newest.
Yeah, I
Where did
dropped
that title come
last
from?
April. So
But
again,
where did that title come from? Was that like a planned thing or what's up?
so a couple weeks before that, me and my friend NGS Death, um, we were basically looking at his clothing brand West Adams, and I've been collabing with him, and we were thinking about inside of every clothing, instead of just having the label, we should have like a saying. You know what I mean? And like I had thought about it, and I was like perfectly broken. And like I'll tell you why in a second. And it ended up not being the West Adams thing because we ended up instead of writing like 5 pillars for this, and I'll explain that in a minute. But
Hmm.
but basically, like to me, perfectly broken. What that actually means is all right, so like in the world, there's a lot of evil, and we understand that. There's a lot that's like corrupt, and there's like even in a personal sense, everybody always feels like they have to do more to get to where they are. You know what I mean? Like, and I understand that, but people never give themselves credit for where they are compared to where they've been. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's like yes, there's so much hunger and corruption in the world, but like at the same time, I think the world is exactly where it needs to be right now. You know what I mean? Because if there wasn't corruption, there wouldn't be people fixing it. You know what I
Right.
mean? If you know what I mean, and I'm not saying that like I don't know if you believe in utopia or not. I think one day it could happen, but like perfectly broken to me is the fact that yeah, it seems broken, but it's perfect. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's you have to look at it four dimensionally of like where we're gonna be. We're either gonna be fucked or we're gonna be good. You know what I mean? Like at the end of things. So I truly believe we're gonna be good. I have real faith in humanity, like especially in this generation that we're a part of. You know what I mean? And like we just think way different. We don't get stupid advertisements, none of that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like you can't hold us down. Period. You know what I mean? And so even though the window's cracked, somebody's gonna replace it. Type shit.
Right. I fuck with that. I feel that. I think utopia is an interesting concept. I haven't really thought about that, really.
Facts.
That's
I
interesting.
talk to I talk to people about that sometimes. Like utopia seems so far fetched. Like a world without money, for example. How would that even work? Like, bitch, I don't know. I am not living in one. You know what I mean? But
But
do I believe that can happen? I do because like there are some things that you can value more than money. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, people have to eat. So I understand that. I understand the role that money plays in our life, but I also understand that money is just a big scam. You know what I mean? Like
mm,
in the large scheme of things. You know what I mean? Like it's awesome. You know what I mean? People need it, but in terms of like with this coronavirus bullshit, it's just so coincidental that like everybody loses their jobs and then ooh, the government gets to help you. Not thank you for helping us, government, but they're trying to like make us dependent on them, and that's what
right.
I don't fuck. You know what I mean? Like dependency is not the answer. You know what I mean? And that's how they're using money to control us. You know what I mean? So I feel like truly expressing yourself in any way, regardless of the fear of the consequences, that's really like speaking with your heart, and like that's how utopia will be achieved. You know what I mean? When people say, "I'm not having that shit," you know what I mean? Like we're gonna do this our way. You know what I mean?
Right. Huh. That's interesting. Would. So what was like your process like putting together this album? How long like was it a process? Was it a long journey putting it together or what happened with it?
Oh, hell yeah, boy. And I want to say this album overall took about over a year to make. And it's not that like I sat down and I was thinking perfectly broken and like I did that. It was more of like my day to day life is me making beats, making music. So it's like I make music every day, and there's some music that's never gonna see the light of day. There's some music that I open up and I'm like, oh shit, forgot I made that. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I also have gotten so much better with my organization and with the birth of elevator jams. I just wanted to like really have like my catalog. You know what I mean? And so
Hmm.
over, like time, just cooling in the cut, like you play the music, people airdrop the music. At the end of the day, like I've been hearing these songs every day to the point where it's like these go together. You know what I mean? Like these are a project. Like I didn't know it at the time, but it's like you go day to day, and it's like you do everything. Like if you feel like you want to drop this one, drop that shit. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
overall, like you don't have to drop anything until you truly want to. You know what I mean? And so like I was looking at all my songs, I'm counting. I'm like, it's time for a solo project. I haven't dropped a solo project since 2018. You know what I mean? And so it's time for another solo project. I dropped that shit. Like I compiled it, mixed it, all that good stuff. Big production credits by Horizon Beats.
Right.
Um, and that was just like overall like how it happened. Like there's some songs that I made last June. You know what I mean? Last summer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's songs that I made around Christmas time. Like I made Molly's Situation with Delma when I visited Charleston again for Christmas. I also made Too Much, which is the bonus track around that time. And then some tracks I made this year, just again, everyday shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it's those right ones that hit, I'm gonna put them to the side, knowing that this is gonna be part of a project sometime. You know what I
Right.
mean? Curating the project to me is the most important part. Curating track list, all that, because like I'm trying to tell a story. You know what I mean? And so
Mm.
I feel like patience is virtue. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't have to like group them all and like drop them. You know what I mean? So whenever I'm not doing like personal stuff, I'm working on elevator jams. I'm working on other artists, this, that, and the other. Shout out elevator jams. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because that kind of leads into what I was going to ask, because the transitions and like how you sequence it was really interesting for this project. I thought it was really cool. What's your kind of process like that like when you put in it, like when you choosing track 1 through 18?
The two most important tracks I feel like are track one, track two, and the last track. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Those are the three most important ones. The first one, that needs to like that's the hook. You know what I mean? Like that one needs to draw people in. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be that repetitive like pop song, but it needs to be that fresh shit that's like, oh damn, all right, word. Let's see what's going on here. Like think
Mm-hmm.
about with 21 Savage, I Am versus I Was, that first song. That shit hit everybody. The
Right.
whole like we all know that his music is he does a lot of things. You know what I mean? He's also has variety, but that one song was
Hold up, you
hitting
froze.
it. Sorry, like with I Am versus I Am Greater Than I Was, that first track a lot. Like we expect another 21 Savage song. Don't shoot the odds, blah blah blah. But he
Mm-hmm.
did that, but like in a way different way, like in a way where he's actually telling you a story. You know what I mean? That first song that I put on the album Exile, I made it with my friend the Wizards program, TWP. He's a member of Killset Fire Group in Orlando, like one of my favorite rap groups I've ever met. And we were just vibing, bro, like any other day. You know what I mean? Like he's like, let's make a song. Like me and him have never made a song together, so it's like, fuck it. Like we've known each other forever. Like let's do this shit. You know what I mean? Let's cook that shit up. Just did that shit in like what 10, 20 minutes, a little bit more maybe, but like it was the vibes. You know what I mean? The vibes really like get ingrained into the music. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and so we did that. And so, like, as far as like curating and track listing, you know what I mean? I said track two is the second most important thing because once they hear the first one, they're gonna listen to the second one, and the
Mm-hmm.
second one is gonna decide whether or not they're gonna listen to the whole album. You know what I mean? And so, gotta make sure that that second one is strong. Another storyteller, but it also needs to like it has to have an energy shift. Like everything needs to have a contour. Contour meaning rise and fall. You know what I mean? The shape of the whole entire album breathing. I remember a few months ago, I was actually with my friend Paul Pazais, and we were listening to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and we were praising Kanye for what a genius he was, not only because of the music, but because of the way he structures his albums, also his songs. You know what I mean? Like, he starts off with this song, then it grows in energy, grows in energy. The third song, he's just going stupid, like on some monster, monster. You know what I mean? Next song,
Yeah.
woo, we just brought it back a mile. You know what I mean? Then we're gonna bring it back up, and then woo, you know what I mean? Let it breathe. You know what I mean? Because like people like that shit. You know what I mean? People need that shit. You know what I mean? Like if you just have boom, boom, boom the entire way through, then your whole album sounds the same. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are you doing? Are you making an album or are you making a mixtape? You know what I mean? Like, so that was really like listening to like my tracks. Like I strategically need a place, and like I know that the last back half of the tracks aren't gonna get as many plays. So am I gonna put the less important ones down there? No. It's more of like I just know that I'm gonna put my strongest ones up first, because even though I'm not saying these are weaker by any means, but these are just more of a more trippy sack, if you know what I mean. This
Yeah.
here is more of like, damn, I'm working and I'm progressing, and then this is like, all right, a little bit of who you know what I mean, like at the
Mhm.
bottom, you know what I mean. And so I think overall, even with that being said, like the album is not like nothing I've ever made before. You know what I mean? I've experimented with many different voices. You know what I mean? I always knew that like my voice would like my vocal range, like going high to low, is like was crazy. So specifically on Space Cowboy, like I love it when people are like, "That's you." When I go into the country part, I'm like, "Yeah," and then like it goes straight into like the super high voice, like yeah, whatever it is. But it's like people are like, "Damn," and that's kind of like my little gimmick. You know what I mean? I was blessed with a nice voice to be able to like do flexible things. So I'm gonna take advantage of that, and I'm gonna show people what I can do, and I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, 100%. That's what's up. Uh, so you have full instrumental albums, and you make a lot of your own beats. On this one, like you said, Horizon helped a lot, but you usually make a lot of your own beats.
Mhm.
But when you're making beats, do you purposely like go into it being like this is going to be for like an instrumental song that's going to stand by itself, or do you just like make them and then you like decide at the end if you're going to add vocals or not?
More of the latter half, because like it really just depends. You know what I mean?
Mm.
If I'm like in album mode and I'm thinking beat tape, like I'm gonna like put a little bit more soul into like the beat itself as like a standalone project. But at the same time, it's like the song Exile, the very first track, like it was just another beat that I made, and it was in the beat vault for people to listen to, and oh, I like that shit, let me buy it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But again, like he's like, let's make a song, and I'm like, I heard that beat, and I'm like, Loki, this is me and TWP. Let's ride on this shit. So it's like I didn't even know that was gonna be on the album, but that was just such a different beat with the dun, and I was like, damn, it's kind of like that the baby like dun 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 dun, you know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
different, you know what I mean? And like it has that bounce where you don't expect it, and I was like, this would be a good opener because people don't usually hear things like this. You know what I mean? And so that's definitely an example of, I make the beat and then, hey, I'm gonna put vocals on. This is gonna be on the project.
Right. Right. So did production or writing come first?
Production usually.
Okay.
Production usually. Lately, I've been focusing more on freestyling a lot more than normal, just
Hmm.
because like I feel like you don't hold back when you freestyle. You know what I mean? And that's really important to me. Is like not holding back. At the same time, I'm not gonna say like the whole album was freestyle because it wasn't, but
Hmm.
a lot of it was written, and some people can tell which one it is or isn't, but like it's more like sometimes I'll just like write and not even hear a beat. Like I'll just write bars to a flow because flow is more important than the beat. You know what I mean? And most flows will fit in the beat. So, I usually just write the flow. If I'm with other artists and we're listening to the beat, I'll write to the beat. And like, but then sometimes, like I said, with the freestyle thing, it's like writing is good because you can put more thought into it. But at the same time, it's kind of like by the time that you get the notepad out, by the time you start typing, you forget what you're trying to say. And I'm really ADD, so it's like I don't have time to forget what I say, especially when I'm tripping acid, bro. Like I cannot pull the phone out and start thinking, how am I gonna? What's the flow? What's the bar? Because at the end of the day, like all you got to do is just slow yourself down and let the beat ride, and just really like fit yourself in the beat when it comes to the freestyle. You know what I mean? And so that's really how I like approach like freestyling the beat. I'll just put it on and then like cut in and out whatever it is. But all I know is that I'm trying to feel the boom, boom, the beat, and then if it's rocking, I'll go da 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 da. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, but I can think more about the flow and then the words come afterwards. I feel like
Right.
flow is more important than the words, personally.
Okay. Kind of like more like feeling comparatively to like really like kind of saying something.
Yeah, I'm not saying that like because like I experiment with again all types of rap, like from conscious to like mumble, all the way. You know what I mean? So this one song I did it with my alter ego, Lil Shroom, called "Lean Back." Where sometimes I hate old heads because they don't even think. You know what I mean? Like I play this
Mm.
song, I'm not a big fan of mumble rap. I'm like, nigga, you ain't even get to the part where I'm actually mumbling. Like how
But
you know what I mean? Like I actually mumble in that song, but you ain't even listened to 3 words. You're lean back, like bro, you're just not opening up your ears. Like I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I'm speaking real facts. So it's like, at the end of the day, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and people's opinions are not right or wrong. Period. You know what I mean?
right.
It's right for you, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, it's like I was watching this one. I think it was Mark Hamill who said like you really only have like the first 30 seconds of a song to hook somebody, and people are really quick because it's just how we consume music now, especially with streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone just like they have everything available at their fingertips. So if they don't like your song, they can go listen to another million that they know they already liked that they heard before. So trying to get
Yeah,
them hooked is like that's real tough, and I can't imagine trying to do that.
yeah, I feel you,
Yeah,
100%. For me, I guess like production quality is what brings people in more than anything else. You know what I mean? It's not to say that like a shitty mix won't get you millions of plays. You know what I mean? Because I think the vibe comes even before the production value. You know what I
right.
mean? If like people can feel the vibe in your music, it doesn't matter what it sounds like. You know what I mean? Like they'll feel it. You know what I mean? But like going the whole freestyling thing, it's more like it might seem like you don't feel like you're saying something important, or that you don't think that
You froze again. I don't know what's good with the Wi-Fi.
it froze.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
good.
got you. Good. So like one thing that I learned like through this freestyling thing, and like also through like just the idea of perfectly broken, is the fact that like I don't know if you believe in God or not, but like I view like I remember I was tripping shrooms with Day, and we made this beat called God's Hand, and it's like he looked at me and I'm like, what does this make you think of? It makes me think of God's hand, because no matter how I press this button, it's like God came down and put his hand in my finger, like put his hand on my hand, and no matter what I do, it can't be wrong because it's God. You know what I mean? No matter what happens, it's supposed to happen the way it's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? So I sat back and I was like, damn, you right. Like that's literally like, you know what I mean? Like things happen for a reason. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
that's why like certain songs, like the beat, the flow is like weird, fucked up. Like on Pop by Lil Uzi, it's like that shit is everywhere. It's not on beat. It's not normal. You know what I mean? But it fucking slaps because it's like he wasn't thinking about anything else besides I'm gonna fuck this up. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? In a good way. And so this shit keep freezing a little bit. But yeah, I guess like yeah, because I'll listen to a freestyle or something, and like after me and Dave will make a song, and like we'll listen back and we're like, dang, we're high key speaking some woke ass shit. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, and it's just weird. You know what I mean? It's weird, but it's dope. You know what I mean? It's like you just gotta trust yourself that like what your heart is saying is important. You know what I mean? And is correct. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It goes back to you saying it's an opinion. So like if someone doesn't feel or like they don't think it's like pertinent to them, then like what that's not your problem as an artist. Your artist is to express yourself. So if you're expressing
Exactly.
yourself when someone doesn't connect with it like
People
that,
who are on my, people who are on my frequency are gonna resonate with my frequency. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. And
right.
like another thing is like I don't really worry. Like obviously I worry about marketing and all that, but like I don't really worry about people listening or not listening to my music, because at the end of the day, the people who hear my music heard it at the exact same moment that they were supposed to listen to it. I mean, if
Right.
you've never heard my music and you go stream Perfectly Broken after watching this interview, it's because for whatever reason in your life, this was manifested into your life for you to listen or for you to like have this experience. Maybe this is gonna teach you not to worry about like the past or the future and just live in the present, whatever it is. But like everything just happens when it's supposed to happen, and that's your really
Mhm. Yeah. How big of an influence do like psychedelic drugs play into your music and everything like that? Because you talked about streams and acid within the little the little half an hour we've had here. So like, what do
good.
you? How big of a role? Not how big of a role, but what role, if any, do you think they play when you're creating?
So just off rip, bro. My name is Trippie Sack. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck did I get that name, bro? Like, me and the boys, we used to like trip. We called it Trippie Tuesday. We would trip on Tuesdays, and we would trip balls, bro. We would trip sack, bro, to the point where we couldn't say I am tripping sack. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like, we would just look at each other, be like, bro, I'm Trippie Sack right now. I'm Trippie Sack, bro. I'm Trippie Sack AF. You know what I mean? And like Trippie Sack was just a thing. Like Tabs just came into Charleston. shit, hey, who's getting Trippie sack this weekend? You know what I mean? Like way before I even like thought about like, fuck, I'm gonna rap. You know what I mean? Like, and
Mm.
so, bro, like when it came down to like picking my name, I was like, what am I gonna be like? And like I was like the Boost Goose, this, that, and the other. I had all these ideas, but I was like, Trippie sack kind of like has that like ring to it. And this was like early Trippie Red. I was really thinking to myself, like, damn, are people gonna think I'm biting Trippie Red? And then I really sat back and thought, like, bro, back to the whole thing, you can't be afraid of the consequences of what people say when you know what your intentions are. You know what I mean? Like, I know where my name comes from. So people saying that I'm biting, bro, like they just don't know the full story. And I don't blame them for thinking what they think because they weren't there. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? The music will speak for itself. I'm not Trippie Red. You know what I mean? Trippie Red is an amazing artist. You know what I mean? I'm also an amazing artist. I'm a completely different person. I have a whole different story to tell. And so with that being said, like that's just like that's like the basis. So like yeah, psychedelics played a big part in the manifestation of Trippie Sack as a whole. And in terms of music, like I love making beats. I love rapping on acid because it's just like you just feel looser. You feel more confident in yourself. Again,
Right.
you lose the fear that's inside of you. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the times I felt like I wasn't good at freestyling. It wasn't because I'm not good at freestyling, but it's really about the people I'm around. You know what I mean? If I'm with Paul or if I'm with my boys, then I know I'm gonna spit some bars because I'm not worried about fucking up. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about disappointing. Like, oh, bro, what'd you just say? Like, weirdo. Like, bro, like it's freestyle. Like it's just gonna come out. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so, but like around other people, let's say Big Cypher, and I don't know anybody, I used to be like afraid because like, bro, like these guys are rapping, and I'm like they're not scared, but bro, acid like gets rid of those inhibitions, lets you know, like, bro, like it's just what it is. You know, you're doing this, so fuck it, do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
In terms of beats, shit, like I remember the first beat tape. It was actually the first trip of 2019. It was my first solo trip too. It was on the Blood Moon, and I came over to your house, and I made this beat called Staged. That shit was crazy. It was because like I felt like the Earth is a stage. Like I felt like I was in a play. Everybody around me was playing their part. You know what I mean? Like because in a way they are. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that they don't have their individuality or anything, but like you know what I mean? Like you're in my life for a reason, Day's in my life for a reason, like, and we just meet each other at these certain times because we were supposed to, and then click clack, and then the future is just going to be filled of of the growth of what that seed created. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. And so psychedelics does play a big part in my music for sure.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, you talk about like kind of how they kind of expel fear when you're on them and stuff like that. Because I definitely understand that. Where I feel like I'm kind of a little bit more confident when I'm on them too, even though I'm not doing anything to kind of exude that. I'm not like typing or anything like that. Like it just feels like a little bit like you kind of expel any like outside influences really, and you kind of just more with yourself and everything like that.
100%. Yeah.
I feel that. So you were talking about like your vocal inflections and everything like that, and how they're really diverse, and how you really play on that while you're flowing. Sometimes you're singing, sometimes you're rapping, sometimes it's like a weird mixture of both. But do you ever think you're gonna do like a full project, like just doing like one? You know what I mean? Do you ever think you're gonna do a full project where you're just like singing and everything like that, or you're doing one where it's like just straight rapping?
I would say yes. Like honestly, like maybe. Like I can't say yes or no because like at the end of the day, like I just make whatever I'm feeling in the moment. You know what I mean? But like I said, like when it comes down to curating what I'm making in terms of projects, like it'll be what it's gonna be. Like I do like that the whole diversity aspect because I want projects to touch as many people as they do. Like Elevator Jams Volume One, like going from Chill Pill to Get Baked. You know what I mean? Like Lil Shrimp to Trippie Sack. You know what I mean? And it's just different. You know what I mean? It's like I'm talking about this big old flow, like real laid back, chill, and then the next one I'm just like bars, like
Mm-hmm.
conscious bars about real shit. You know what I mean? And so like again, people are like, aren't you gonna confuse your audience? And no, I think my audience knows what's up. You know what I mean? I think my audience knows what's up. I don't think my audience would be mad if I did like a whole country album. You know what I mean? Like fuck
Mm-hmm.
it. You know? They wouldn't expect it, but at the same time they would expect it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Trippie dropped a country album. Weird ass nigga. Like whatever. It's all good.
I feel that. Yeah. What would a because that's a big thing in the music business. I feel like that's people assume that the consumers are pretty stupid for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Like they can't really handle someone like switching their name or anything like that. It's like when Gambino wanted to put his last album out as Donald Glover, but the label was like, no, you confused the audience and everything like that. But it's like when he has so much other shit where he's
Not,
just Donald Glover.
he has hella clout that it's like really like Donald Glover's not gonna sell millions of records. Get the fuck out of here. You know
Like
what I
I
mean?
kind of see that.
The reason is probably the label owns Childish Gambino and they want Childish Gambino to release an album. You know what I mean? 100%. But yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, some bullshit. What was I gonna say? Oh, all right. So like the classic, I always hear this argument is that if you do a bunch of things, like everyone tries to do everything, you're gonna be okay at all of those things. Compared to if someone just sits down and focuses on one thing, they're gonna be really great at that one thing. But you produce, you mix, you master, you do your own artwork and everything like that. What would you kind of say to someone who's on the first side where they're like, if you do everything, you're just gonna be okay at everything? It would compare just because I've seen from your earlier career in 2018 to this solo project, it's obviously progressed. So like that, you're like a perfect argument against those people who are saying that. So like, but just what's your thoughts on that, really?
A couple things. I actually saw this Gary Vee video talking about similar things like that. But just overall, it's like everybody's different, right? So Horizon, for example, he told me that he's like, I think you need to focus on rapping so you could be the best rapper you can. Like, stop focusing on helping other artists as elevator jams or whatever because like you're taking away from your own energy. But like to me, low key, I thrive with that because like, dude, I'm ADD as fuck. You know what I mean? And I can't just be a rapper 24/7. You know what I mean? Like I can't just be a producer 24/7. That's like even with Day, and Day is like my best friend. But like even days where I'm like doing nothing but producing and recording him, like I tell him straight up, like, yo, give me 2 days, bro. You know what I mean? Let me reset, bro. I come back with like 5 beats, like a new song, this, that, and the other, because I just need to reset as myself and like change my focus, my direction. You know what I mean? I do 100% believe if you focus on one thing, you will putting all that energy into one thing is like so important. It's like a magnifying glass. If you magnify, it's gonna start burning because you've got that little tiny bit of focus right there. You know what I mean? But at the same time, my whole person as Juan Morales, as Trippie Sack, like my role is that of the scatterbrain. You know what I mean? That's my weakness and my strength. You know what I mean? Like I can't be just a rapper. I can't be just a producer. I can't be just a label head. You know what I mean? I got to do all those to truly thrive as who I am. You know what I mean? I need to do all those things. And it really helps me because like it's teaching me like organization. You know what I mean? It's teaching me like, okay, you need to do, like I started, just to-do lists. You know what I mean? Just daily, all right, who are you mixing for today? You know what I mean? Like this, that, and the other. Simple things. You know what I mean? Don't try to organize yourself in a way where it's like weird. Just organize yourself in a way that's right for you. You know what I mean? And just schedule yourself. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm working now that I just moved back to Charleston. I've been reaching out to other artists. I actually just reached out to this band called Era 404, and they just joined the Elevator Jams fan. I officially manage them now. And yep. And it's my first group that I actually manage. You know what I mean? Like officially. Like they would say that I'm his manager. I would probably say I'm his manager too, just because like I'm that guy. I'm that producer that's like a manager. You know what I mean? Just because I'm just a little bit like more like not detached, but more of like bird's eye view kind of guy. You know what I mean? And so I know the role I play. I know the role that other people play. And as long as people put their faith in me and their faith in themselves, then we're all gonna thrive. We're gonna take the elevator to the top floor, like I always say. You know what I mean? And just do what people thought never could exist. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so yeah, if you're an artist out there who's like artist producer, you know what I mean, this, that, and the other, you feel like you're stretching yourself thin, it's like a workout, bro. Just like keep doing it. You know what I mean? When you don't feel like rapping, you feel like you're burned out, bro, go make some beats. Don't worry about the raps. Don't worry about not making a song like about this consistency. Because dude, at the end of the day, if you're working on the dream every single day, it doesn't matter. Like there's all the whole piece of the pie. You know what I mean? So you can't just have this side and not the other side. You know what I mean? If you are that rapper that's just a rapper, you know what I mean? Like, bro, focus on that. You know what's right for yourself. You know what I mean? So it's like find somebody who's that counterpart for you. You know what I mean? Find that guy who's just a producer, and then like work like that. You know what I mean? Like there's many examples of that Cardi, Pierre. You know what I mean? Like Like me and Day, bro, like I like to say that I'm a primarily a producer, but it's not even it. Like I'm just an artist. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like with me and Day's relationship is very like Pierre Bourne Cardi in a sense. You know what I mean? It's like Day will pull up, he's gonna rap on my beats, and I'm just gonna fuck that up. You know what I mean? It's gonna be good. You know what I mean? And so I know the role that I play within our relationship. You know what I mean? And now
Yeah.
that we created our band, the Sound Painters, now it's more of like we're both rapping on it, all on my beats, and this and the other. And it's just like, you know what I mean? Like you start to learn that it's not that you can't do both things at once. Is that it's more like you just got to get used to doing more than one thing. Just like you got to get used to working out, just to like finally feel like not lazy to go work out. You know what I mean? Like because that's really what it is. You feel drained because you haven't gotten your reps in. You know what I mean? After a while, it's like, how else am I gonna do this? You know, if I just try to be a producer, I'm gonna feel like I'm dying. You know what I mean? Like I need to rap. I need to go like work on my website. Like I have to. You know what I mean? Gets
Yeah.
that.
I fuck with that for sure. How did Elevator Jam get started? Because obviously it's expanding now. So how did you start that?
So late 2018, I dropped my first mixtape, Cloud 10 mixtape, and around that time, like I was like, I'm gonna create like a little entertainment company. You know what I mean? Like have like a name around my business so I could be a little bit more legit. So I called it C10 Entertainment. Had my first quote unquote signed artist. Like I never even gave him a contract, but it was more like I'm gonna record you for free and we're gonna work. You know what I mean? So that was Naldo. Fucking big shout out to HBM Naldo, Heartbreak Mob. But yeah, it's just like that was the inception of it. That was the whole idea. And as like me, I evolved as an artist. Like the idea of what I'm doing also evolves with it. And so, early 2019, I just dropped my beat tape. Like I was really like getting in my producer bag. You know what I mean? Like I had just like gotten down to Full Sail. It's been like 5-6 months, and like just that beginning, like bro, like it's like an exponential graph. Like the learning curve is like very slow at the beginning, but once you start learning a couple key things, whoop, like straight to the top. You know what I mean? It's just do it every day. You know what I mean? And so it evolved into Elevator Jams after it was C10, and it was supposed to be a producer-centered label. The original idea was like, if me and Frankie and what's it called, like we all have like our bases, you know what I mean? Then we can each just find one or two artists that we can like bring in as like I'm recording you for free, and just have it be like studio to studio, like everybody's part of the same family, but everybody's individually working to their own thing. You know what I mean? And that's kind of still the goal, but now I feel like that's a little bit different. You know what I mean? It's a little bit bigger. Like for me, Elevator Jams more than anything else is a family. You know what I mean? Like more than anything else, because like, you know what I mean? Like not everybody's gonna like, let's say, be on the same level as you at the same time. For example, big shout out to Josh Levine, JL. Dude puts in work and he's never giving up. You know what I mean? But I remember we both started Full Sail the first time. He's on the extended track. And when I first met him, his beats were just like, just beats. You know what I mean? Now his beats are songs. You know what I mean? And I fucking love that shit. And like, I don't want to take credit for his inspiration, but like he in for lack of no, not even for lack of a better term, he was my first assistant. You know what I mean? He was the guy who would come over and help me do my dishes because there was a fire in my house and he knew I didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, so he really did shit out of love. He would come over when nobody else would, help me clean up the place. You know what I mean? Like real assistant shit. You know what I mean? And like just by always being around, always looking over my shoulder, sitting in on studio sessions, he picked up a lot of key things. You know what I mean? He would hear a new beat from me, and then he would be so inspired that how did he do that? You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna just like work it out, doing it in my own way. And then once he feels like he caught up, he hears something new from me. And it's like not saying I'm better than him in any way, but it's more like I love the fact that we can have that relationship. You know what I mean? Let me continue doing more so you can realize you can still do more. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's what family means to me. Because like when I'm really thinking about it, like me and Josh, collabing wise, we've maybe made one or two beats. We've maybe made one or two songs, 3 songs together. But bro, he's Elevator Jam's family. You know what I mean? Straight up. You know what I mean? You don't have to like collab with me to be family. You know what I mean? You don't have to be one of my artists to be part of the Elevator Jams family. You just got to believe in Elevator Jams, and you just got to believe in yourself. You know what I mean? That's all we ask for. You know what I mean? And like together, we'll ride all the way to the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. And you said you just started managing. Was it Era 404?
Yeah. They're a Charleston boy band down here, more of a rap trio boy band. kind of thing. But what I've noticed about Charleston as a city is like for a while, like it's a very artistic city, very heavy in fashion. You know, like independent designers, you know, photographers. Such a big photography community out here. It's a beautiful city with tourists. So like dance is really big. Like shout out Delma. Before being a rapper, he was a dancer, professional street dancer. The dude could eat off that. Dude could live off that. That's
Right.
awesome. Doing nothing else but dancing, dude. Like wow. You know what I mean? Like every Saturday, like if I was anywhere near Marion Square, I would just go to Marion Square just so I could like do my secret handshake with Delma and just feel cool because he's dancing and like I dapped up one of the dancers. You know, it's like it's so dope. You know what I mean? But like that is so beautiful that like Charleston is like that kind of city. You know what I mean? That like arts can really thrive in. You know what I mean? What Charleston is lacking is organization. And like I, in the past couple of years, have seen the organizations build. You know what I mean? There's people out here that have tried to like build labels. You know all this stuff. And like I recently saw this management company, and they really inspired me. Shout out Adiso Entertainment. And like just I just saw what they were doing. They had like they were really like structured in the sense of like art, fashion, music. You know what I mean? Which is like kind of the same thing like any label wants to get into: art, fashion, music, anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I just saw the way that he was bringing the city together, and it really like inspired me to come back here and really like add to that value. Like the city deserves it. The city has it. The city has the talent. It just doesn't have the circle. You know what I mean? And the circle needs to be built. And I stress circle way over triangle. You know what I mean? Because circles, you got to move in circles. It's unity. It's not 1% and the rest. You know what I mean? It's a team effort, bro. You know what I mean? And so that's how shit's gonna pop off. And somebody told me Charleston in 2020 is like Miami in 2015. So goddamn, where else am I gonna be? You know what I mean? Like right in the center of the shit. You know what I mean? Because like Orlando's 5 miles or 5 hours south, Charlotte's 5 hours north. Like I'm in the prime city, in my opinion, to really reach out to the community I built down in Florida. You know what I mean? Uh, it's funny. People think like I'm new here. Whatever. I'm not even gonna say anything about that. But like, yeah, people have been talking about, oh, there's a new kid in town getting in the game. Like, new kid. All right, bro. I put the city on or whatever. I'm not gonna say anything. Like, um, and just like, bro, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited because there's a lot of cool things happening here in Charleston. Day is gonna end up moving here to Charleston, so that's another big thing. Once he finishes his business degree, he's gonna come up here. Hopefully, we can get a place downtown. And long term, and I don't like to say things that haven't happened yet because like, what if they don't happen? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying they can't happen, but I would ideally like to have like one of those like Mercedes Sprinter vans, like deck it out in the back, like a studio in there, like drive up to Charlotte, down to Orlando, and not have to worry about like crashing somewhere because like we got the studio and it's comfy enough to like sleep on the couch. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is. But like that to me is like that's music. You know what I mean? Not being tied down to one city. You know what I mean? Like that's why to me like opening an official studio scares the fuck out of me because number one that's debt, and then number two you gotta work in that shit every day and pay the bills just to have the studio. Studios are a money trap. Like, bro, be flexible. We live in a whole different world. You know what I mean? If people can't come to you, why can't you come to them? You know what I mean? That should be another thing. Like, and I'm gonna make it my mission to visit Orlando at least once a month. Shout out to WTF movement. I'm gonna be at the hippie hideouts every month once this Corona bullshit just lifts. But like every single month, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go do the hippie hideout, and I'm gonna go say hi, and I'm gonna bridge Charleston and Orlando together because my family just started. The dream started in Charleston. The family was founded in Orlando, and it's expanding back to Charleston, and so that's gonna be the first big connection that we're gonna make. You know what I mean?
Right. And then is it gonna expand from city to city from there?
Yeah. So my boy Paul, he has some connection with Colonial Life in Columbia. They're a big stadium, like stadium. So lots of like he's so talented. He has a double major in political science and music. He just graduated. Congratulations, Paul. And like whatever it is, like him and I are the dream team. The dream started with him and I in the fucking hot box, you know, smoking blunts, freestyling. Damn, we could really do this shit, man. Who's gonna get Ableton? Who's gonna get Logic? Fuck it. You know what I mean? And the rest is history. And so as this dream is starting to come to fruition, like, you know, he just finished college, I just finished college. We're trying to build. You know what I mean? We understand the value of building. At the same time, like even though it's such a great opportunity that he's up there in Colombia, that he could be up there in Colombia, I know for a fact, in at least for me, the best thing he could do is be in Charleston. You know what I mean? Has to do what's best for himself, obviously. But at the same time, low-key, I think in his heart he knows he has to be down here with me because like we build Charleston and like he already has those connections in Cola. He has those connections in Clemson, which is pretty close to Charlotte. And so that's gonna be like the movement north. You know what I mean? My producer OG, John Canner, shout out J. Michael. But he's from Richmond, Virginia. You know what I mean? One of my producer friends from down in Florida, he's from Richmond, Virginia. So that's gonna be right after Charlotte, you know what I mean? And to be able to like East Coast, it's all about East Coast. I'm not even worried about the West Coast until this East Coast shit's on lock. You know what I mean? But like, honestly, nobody has that. Like they have it, but they don't have it. You know what I mean? It's like they're stuck in 2016, bro. Like I'm in fucking 2027. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't give a fuck, bro. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna build this family. This family is gonna expand, and it's not about colonizing elevator jams everywhere, but it's about making a base everywhere. And in a sense, I guess it is colonizing because like even though elevator jams left to go north, elevator jams is still a family and they're still working, bro. I've been seeing Snapchats of my boy YBK47 and Day NGS Death working together. You know what I mean? Right now, like they just spent 12 hours yesterday recording. You know what I mean? And it's like to me that's so beautiful, bro, because I created a family and they can be a family without no homo, but daddy. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I think that shit's fire, bro. Like that's really like that's what this shit's about, bro. You know what I mean? Is like making the connections, not only for myself, but that the family can make the connections on some fraternity shit. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't know everybody in the family, but like one day you're gonna say, "Hey, where you from, man? Like, what do you do?" You know what I mean? Like, people are gonna meet each other. People are gonna like have that thing in common. Like, in my opinion, I'm what they have in common. You know what I mean? And all I want to do is give them love and opportunity. You know what I mean? So if I can say that if they can say that they're connected by me, and they know who Trippie Sack is, and they know what they've done for him and what they've done for what I've done for Orlando, you know what I mean? Like, then people know that like they're gonna be brought together by that whole energy. You know what I mean? And really, that's the energy that lingers. You know what I mean? Energy's forever.
But what's been really inspiring lately, though? Like, because I know you said like the management company out there has been inspiring and everything like that for like the business side, but like when you're sitting down creating, because it seems like you create pretty much constantly 24/7. It's like you're never not really either recording yourself, recording somebody else, or producing. So what really like have you ever hit a roadblock where you like you don't feel like doing or not don't feel like it, but like you just don't really have like
Yeah, of course.
a way to go?
Everybody has those moments of like you ain't make shit in a month. You know what I mean? Like, and it hurts, but like that's why you have to like get those reps in of doing something different. You know what I mean? Like, it's not if you really feel like you have to take a break, don't be afraid of the break either. You know what I mean? It's not like you're gonna lose your powers. You know what I mean? But in a way, you kind of will because consistency creates who you are. You know what I mean? We are what we repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence is not an act, but a habit. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't gonna look at me and be like, "Damn, you did good," and be surprised, bro. I want it to be like, "Damn, you did good. Didn't expect anything less." You know what I mean? Like, and so my biggest inspiration is my competition, straight up. You know what I mean? So like Day, for example, my best friend, bro, like he's my competition, but at the same time, we're in the same band. We're in the same like we're in the same family. You know what I mean? Like he's my motherfucking brother. You know what I mean? But like him saying every day, I'm the best, bro. And this was around the time where I felt like I was in one of those humps, and he came into my life at the perfect time. He's like, we're gonna work every day, right before Christmas time. Dude, that shit kicked me into gear because I'm not gonna let this kid beat me. If he's gonna make a song a day, I'm gonna make 2 songs a day. You know what I mean? If he's gonna make, you know what I mean? Like if he's gonna drop a song every other day, I'm gonna drop a beat a day. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not because I think I'm better than him, because I know that I think I'm better than him, but I also know that he knows that he's better than me. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna force him to be like, nah, bitch, I'm better. You know what I mean? Like that's not the point. I need you to believe that you're the best, or this is not gonna work. You know what I mean? I need you to inspire me so I can inspire you back. You know what I mean? And so like, as far as label shit goes, like Charleston is, like I said, it's been starting to get organized. There's some labels that have really been different. Like shout out Indigo. Indigo has big vibes. My boy Machi, he works with Indigo heavy. He's also one of those dudes. Me and Paul, like that dream started together again in the hot box. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful because like like he dropped out of Full Sail a couple months in, and I was really worried for him. I thought he was giving up, bro. I heard he was going into the military. You know what I mean? I was like, I was scared for him. But bro, as soon as I heard he got declined from the military, like they didn't let him in because of his vision and shit, bro, I praised God, bro, because low key, like that was the best thing that happened to him. You know what I mean? You really don't need school for this. You know what I mean? You just need to do this every day. And for me, going to school and like doing that is what led me to do this every day. You know, up here in Charleston, I wasn't worried about shit except partying and like girls. You know what I mean? Like down there, I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm every single day music. You know what I mean? Every single day music. And when it wasn't music, fuck it, bro. Like I'll do something else. You know what I mean? Like that's what it was. And so I forgot where I was going with this, but yeah, the competition, I guess, like is what creates my inspiration more than anything else. Seeing these awesome labels come up, you know what I mean? There's some labels that are working super hard. There's some labels that some entertainment groups that are just like how do I explain this? Just like really doing a lot to like get people to network. You know what I mean? So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna network too. You know what I mean? Like the exact same thing I would do any day and anywhere, any place. But that inspires me to kick elevator jams up a notch. Really take artists under my wing that I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like I know, but I don't even know. You know what I mean? But that's what's inspiring me because like, bro, like we're all gonna eat at the end of the day. So it's like let me earn my seat at the table. You know what I mean?
Right. Interesting. Do you see a similarity in the artists you work with and the artists you're fans of? If that makes sense.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because like, for example, I view Day kind of like a mixture of like Lil Peep X kind of like vibes, you know what I mean? Like, but at the very same time, bro, he's so unique, bro. Nobody's like Day, you know what I mean? And no, like Day is not like anybody else, you know what I mean? And so while there, of course, people create out of inspiration, you know, people create what they know, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like people are so individual that it really just takes that consistency to like learn, you know what I mean? Like the consistency of like I'm doing this every day and like to the point where it's like not everything is gonna be a hit, but your batting average will go up, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna make more hits every single day. You know what I mean? It's gonna go from you're making like 3 hits a week to 3 hits a day. You know what I mean? Like straight up. Apparently,
Right.
like Lil Tecca created Ransom, and two other like of his biggest songs in the same day. You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's because he probably did that shit every single day. You know what I mean? Like it's all about consistency. It's all about faith.
Right. What would you say to someone who's like just getting started though? For someone who's like they are creating every day, but they still feel like they like don't have it or anything like that. Where should they go for inspiration if they don't find inspiration in others? If that makes sense.
Two things. Number one, remember what I said about the learning curve. You know what I mean? Like, bro, when I got into producing, bro, it took me 3 months to even like open up the DAW every day. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't touch the DAW until like 6 months later, 3 months later, whatever it was. But like, it's one of those things like doesn't even really have to be every day, but it just has to like maybe yeah, it does have to be every day. I don't know if I'm kidding. Like if you really are serious about this, do it every day. If you can't do it every day, just do it when you know you can't, bro. But when you think in your head, like what else could I be doing? You could be producing. You know what I mean? You could be doing whatever. But like just realize that the learning curve at first is slow and like you just got to keep doing that because one day, like I remember the day, I remember the exact day where I'm like, oh shit, I just leveled up. Like, cause it's not even like a curve. It's more like you're on one level and then you learn something. It's like boom, and you're on the next level. Like really, it's like level
Yeah.
one, level two, and that moment for me was like throwing distortion on your 808s. I was like, damn, this shit makes my fucking beats bang. I was like, I was like, oh damn, like I've never known this. This is one little thing, and
Right.
it kicked my production up a notch, bro, a whole notch, bro. And I was like, now I'm making fire beats, and now I'm not afraid of making beats. Now I'm not experimenting making beats anymore. Now I have like a mini formula. You know what I mean? And like over time, that shit just keeps going. That shit you start learning. Like the next thing I learned that made me level up was like, if you can't hear something, don't turn it up. Just turn whatever's too loud down. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Because at the end of the day, turning everything up is just gonna blast everything, and you're not gonna hear anything. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So get everything down. You know what I mean? To a healthy level with enough headroom so that at the end you can bring it up. That's why they call it a mix down. You know what I mean? The mastering is not to change your mix at all. It's not to add more bass or make it bang more. The mastering should keep the fidelity of the mix and just bring it up in volume and in like loudness. You know what I mean? That's why mixing and mastering are separate. Mixing is not to bring up the vocals. It's not to bring up the 808s, because at the end of the day, if that little meter's red, you're doing it wrong, bro. Get it down. It should barely be blinking red every so often. You know what I mean? Like at the loudest parts. But like that was the next time where I'm like, damn, I just leveled up. Because now the fire beats that I knew I could make started sounding good. You know what I mean? And that was a game changer. You know what I mean? So yeah, just realize that, like, just believe in yourself, number one, again. And then number two, just believe in the process. You know what I mean? Because it's not about being a millionaire today or tomorrow. It's about being a millionaire within the next 3 years. You know what I mean? It's about doing this every day to where it's like you don't even care if you're a millionaire anymore. You're doing this shit every fucking day and you're happy. You know what I mean? And like the process is what you will fall in love with. You know what I mean? You're gonna find out that, like, in the darkest moments when you feel like you have nothing else, like you don't know where to go, and like you look back at your old music and you're like, how did I make that? I'm never gonna make that again. Bro, you're gonna make something better. Just wait. Like, I swear you're gonna make something better. You just gotta give it time. You gotta give yourself time. You just gotta be patient, because the thing that you're waiting to learn is just manifesting itself. You know what I mean? The thing that one little plugin that you haven't gotten yet, or that one little sample you haven't heard, or whatever it is, like, it's gonna come at the right time, and it's gonna, like, you're gonna see. You're gonna look back like a year from this interview, and you're gonna be like, damn, like, I remember a year ago, like, I was good, but like now I'm good. You know what I mean? That's how people are gonna feel.
Right. I feel like you do need a ton of self-confidence to go into this easily, because it is, like you're saying, it is a process, and it does at some point really start going up quickly, but that might not happen for a year or two until you really sat down and started doing it crazy like that. So that's interesting that you brought that up, because I think about that a lot too.
The self-confidence at the same time is another thing that grows along the way. You know what I mean? Like, everything that you truly put your heart to, it won't also develop you, let's say, as a musician, but it will develop your character. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm a perfect human, bro, but like, bro, if I didn't lose to Florida, I'd be losing, bro. Like, I'm a different person because of the last 2 years, bro, straight up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, I grew up, like, my character is fundamentally different than what it was. Do I still love partying? Yeah. Do I still love women? Yeah, but I got a girlfriend. Like, that's not the point. I love my girlfriend. But like, but you know what I mean? Like, that's like, bro, I'm doing this shit, bro. And it's like everyday shit that really leads you to get that self-confidence. You know what I mean? It's like if I freestyle every day, even though I might be scared of freestyling, I'm afraid of freestyling around people, you're gonna freestyle every day to the point where it's like, you know that you can do it. You know what I mean? So why would you even be afraid? It'll really look silly. It'll really sound silly to be like, I'm nervous. Like, you're not nervous. You do this every day, bro. Like, you don't have to be nervous, because you know that you do this. You know what I mean? Like, you do this. So like, don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just start doing it.
Yeah, I feel that. You just started, you putting more beats up on your YouTube. You reach 100 subscribers on there. Was that the goal? Get 100 and he's going to start putting more beats up there?
Yeah.
Where do you see that going? More to video editing and doing stuff like that?
So in general, like, my thing was hang around 90 for a while, just hit 100, and 100 was when I wanted to start opening up the floodgates. Now my goal is to upload a beat every single day. You know what I mean? No matter what. Honestly, it's a money grab. I mean, not even a money grab, but it's like, I need to diversify my income streams. Like, my beats do nobody good by just sitting in the vault for me to listen to. You know what I mean? So I realized that some beats other artists are going to use. I'm going to probably use some beats that I end up loading up on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, and people are going to steal my beats, bro. How do I know this? Because I've stolen beats. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I do give a fuck, but like, whatever, bro. Like, dude, we live in an age where it's like, you know what I mean? Like, download MP3, like, whatever. You know what I mean? That's why I put my shit up for free download. Go click on free download, do the little download on the BeatStars, and then all you got to do is follow the SoundCloud. You know what I mean? And then you got a free beat that you can use. You know what I mean? So I'm not worried about people stealing my beats, because it's an inevitable part of the business. You know what I mean? I, as a producer, accept that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, if I know that, like, that shit's going on my next project, I'm gonna take it down. Whoever got it before I got to take it down is blessed to have that beat.
Right.
Like a Trippie sack. You know what I mean? but yeah, at the same time, it's also about branding and marketing. You know what I mean? Like, getting into my business bag has been very important to me because like I'm really understanding more about how to like promote yourself. Like again, with the do it every day thing, you should show people that you're doing it every day. You know what I mean? Because like at the end of the day, if you really want to make this your career, if you want to eat off this, then people need to know that you do this. You know what I mean? People need to know that you make beats. And people knew I made beats. They didn't know how fire they were because nobody heard them unless they came over. And that's when like, damn, Trippie, all right, bro, I'm gonna come over every day. And now it's like it's more about like, damn, I left Orlando, like I still want to be working with these niggas. So it's like I'm gonna put beats up on BeatStars. I'm gonna put beats up on YouTube so people can just hear me and know what I do, know who I am. You know what I mean? And it's like I don't know. It's like it's about that branding. You know what I mean? Like, where do I eventually see myself going with this? Well, I also want to build the Elevator Jams YouTube. With Elevator Jams YouTube is going to be very mixed based. Speaking of which, I didn't do any marketing for this, but Boombox Bops Volume One has been released on Elevator Jams last on the 22nd of April. It's just a lo-fi mix, the first lo-fi mix of its kind, um, from just producers around the world. Like not even producers I've even met, but people that I've whose beats I've loved, and I could curate into this little mix. And then I do the video editing myself, with the gifs and the little graphics, and it's simple. But at the end of the day, like, what else would I be doing if I'm not doing that? Scrolling on Instagram, like I don't have time for that shit anymore. Like I don't watch Netflix anymore, bro. When do I watch TV? When I'm folding laundry. You know what I mean? Like that's the only time I really like give a fuck about TV. I'm gonna throw on Sopranos, like fucking I'll kill you. Head ass.
So it's the YouTube's more. It's sort of like you said, it's diversifying your money stream, but it's also a way to kind of build that Elevator Jams community because you see
Exactly.
people returning because they keep liking your beats, and eventually they're gonna start hitting you up personally, like, yo, do you have anything not on the YouTube and everything like that. So it's like you're saying, it's
Exactly.
building a community, that Elevator Jams community. So I like that.
At the same time, like my goal within the next 6 months is to build a YouTube following to the point where I can start giving like beat packs and people can subscribe to me, bro. Because like I sell beats for $50 a beat. You know what I mean? It's not a bad price. You get a full wave, whatever. But I want to do it to the point where I can sell you 3 beats for $50.
Okay.
If you buy every week, you know what I mean? And you can choose between because I want to do 3 packs of 3 beats, lo-fi, spacey, and then trap. You know what I mean? And like every week, you just check the box that you want. What do you want this week? I want the lo-fi pack. You know what? I want the spacey trap pack. I want this one. You know what I mean? And then like to take it a step further, if you know you want all of them, bro, get all 3 packs for $75, bro. That is such a savings, bro. Like what 50 times 9, 450. You're getting $450 value for $75. You know what I mean? Like it's just because I want you to be a consistent customer with me. You know what I mean? And then like another step further, if you want 28 beats, the whole month's worth of beats, $200 a month. That's nothing compared to the amount of beats you're actually getting. You know what I mean? 28 times 50. Sheesh. Oh fuck. I can't do math.
Yeah, don't look at me. I'm not the math guy. Pull the calculators.
I don't know, 400 something, 200, 400 something. I don't even know, bro. Like, but that's the whole goal. You know what I mean? Just get people. Oh, no, it's like $1,400 value or some shit like that. For fucking $200. Like, damn, bro. Like, I'm really like, and it's not about the money. It's more about I need to eat. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to work. You know what I mean? And like, so yeah, it's sort of about the money, but it's more about the fact that I'm doing this every day, and you deserve to have better beats than you've had in the past as an artist. You know what I mean? And I will give you those beats.
But you don't think you're giving like too much away like that though, or you think you just be able to kind of create that much that like even if
Yes,
like you'll
yes,
send out those beats, but you still have extra for days that you're not sending out to everybody. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yes and no because like they already knows like certain like there's beats I'm never gonna give away. You know what I mean? Like some of them are just like too precious. They just mean too much. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? There's the surface level of the iceberg, and then there's the rest. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid about like I just need people to see the fact that there's an iceberg. You know what I mean? I guess that's how I'm trying to explain it. But
I get it.
yeah, it's more like I don't feel like I'm giving too much away because like there's just gonna be people that don't want to do that, so they're still gonna pay $50 a beat. and I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's more about let's give people more value right now while I'm still small, because like I'm gonna be like the biggest ever. You know what I mean? And so like if you can say you got like 3 beats from Trippie Sack for $50, bro, you're gonna be like, people are gonna be like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, like,
2020. Damn, that's great. Like on some J. Cole shit. I saw this thing yesterday that was talking about J. Cole and how like he got this deal originally with his label that wasn't, it was like he was a small artist emerging, you know what I mean? So he got a really good deal, but he never renegotiated for more money after the first 3 albums. He never took more money because he was waiting until Forest Hills Drive. And then what did he really want? He wanted his masters, and they gave him his masters, for the rest of what he was making. You know what I mean? Like KOD, Dreamers. You know what I mean? And like that was like smart. Like it wasn't about the money for him because he was playing the long game. And me, I'm playing the long game. That's really what I believe. You know what I mean? So I will give people value because they truly deserve this value. And like, what else do I want? Like, I'd rather people hear my things than not hear my things. You know what I mean? So I will give them my things. You know what I mean? And they're going to appreciate. They're gonna know that they're not gonna get this product anywhere else. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, other people's beats are banging, and I'm like, bro, shout out Horizon, shout out Messiah, shout out Hours X Revenge, bro. Like, shout out JL, like, shout out anybody who's like producing, bro, because like you guys are the captains of the ship, high key. You know what I mean? And so like, if you're really producing, like, you know what's up. And so it's all about giving value, and then like the value will be reciprocated in the end. You know what I mean?
but I feel that. I think that's a great idea. Do you prefer producing to writing, or is there even a preference?
I do, just because like I'm really good at music theory. That was like one thing that gave me an edge over other producers in Orlando that helped me grow a little bit faster, because I can hear the beat before it's made, or like I can hear the beat like as I'm making it, I can hear what comes next. So I'll just like fit it in what I think it's supposed to be. So just having that strong music theory base is like, music is like just so fun for me to compose. You know what I mean? Like as a composer, like before I was a beat maker, before I was even thinking about rapping, I wanted to be an opera singer and a composer. Bro, I wanted to get my PhD so I could teach composition. You know what I mean? Like now I want to get my PhD so I can do something different. You know, I still want a PhD. That's just like a weird thing about me. One day I'm gonna get Dr. Sack. Oh, that'll be the day I change my name, Dr. Sack.
Dr. Sack.
That'll be high key fire shit. No cap.
That's so sick.
But yeah. Like,
It's producing over writing.
personally, yeah, and like I love making songs, bro. But like I also know that I don't want to say, yeah, I'm better at making beats. You know what I mean? It's like I still am a great artist, and I'm never gonna take that away from me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel weary of saying that I'm better at producing, because like, am I? I don't know. I don't think I've tapped into my full potential as a rapper.
On the ear, yeah.
Exactly. So it really is more about like right now. I feel like I'm a better producer. You know what I mean? So we'll see what I am in a year from now. Maybe in a year from now, I'm just a way better rapper than a producer. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be. But at the end of the day, like in terms of that whole thing, that the first question you asked about, that where the focus is going, don't be afraid of, especially if you're one of those scatterbrained guys like me. Don't be afraid of like, if you're feeling that production and you've been doing this like 2 months, but you're on a roll. Don't feel like you have to like take away and like just start doing this. Like if you know what you're doing, bro, just keep doing that. Like there's gonna be the day where you're gonna like look at the mic and be like, fuck it, let's do this shit. You know what I mean? And like, don't rush it is what I'm trying to say, you know?
Right. I meant to ask this earlier when you were talking about it, but I kept forgetting. And now that I remember, I'm going to ask now so I don't forget. What would a full Lil Shroom project sound like? Because that's sort of like what y'all. Or can you introduce us to Lil Shroom in a way? Give like a little bio of the guy.
I don't even know how to explain Lil Shroom. Lil Shroom's a lovebird. You know what I mean? Lil Shroom knows. I don't even know how to explain it, bro. Like, the birth of Lil Shroom was kind of weird, bro. Cause like, I'm gonna be honest, like Lil Shroom came out of a fear of like being called Trippie Sack and like being called a biter and all that. But after that, it was more like, fuck it, Lil Shroom is just a different personality. Like truly, it's like it's not really even a different personality. It's just a little bit more edgy. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I wouldn't even say even edgier, because Trippie Sack edgy as fuck, high key. You know what I mean? But it's more like I just wanted like another name. You know what I mean? Like another name where I could just like, bro, if like nobody knows Trippie Sack or like something, like maybe I could disguise Lil Shroom. Just another way to exercise my inner self. You know what I mean? Like I can't really tell you who Lil Shroom is because like I'm not tripping off the shrooms right now. You know what I mean? Like Chill Pill was the first song I feel like I really made as Lil Shroom because like I was off the shrooms and like that's the first song or no, the second song credited to Lil Shroom. First one was Lean Back. That one was just more of an experiment of like let's see what Lil Shroom will do. He put up decent numbers on SoundCloud, under Trippie Sack, whatever. But just Lil Shroom is like Lil Shroom is that lovebird. Lil Shroom don't take no shit from no bitches. You know what I mean? Like Lil Shroom knows his place and where he's going. You know what I mean? And he helps Trippie Sack out. He gives Trippie Sack his energy. You know what I mean? Like they're 2-in-1. You know what I mean? It's two sides to the same coin, heads and tails. I mean, I feel like that's a good way to say it. Like Trippie Sack is heads and Lil Shroom is tails. You know what I mean?
Do you ever make beats in mind for Lil Shroom, or like how active is Lil Shroom? Because I know, like you said, he only has those 2 credits right now, the single and then the Elevator Jams Volume 1, John.
Yeah, I definitely want to do more shit with Lil Shroom, 100%. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep it on like the Shrooms wave. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be like I just need to show more separation between Trippie Sack and Lil Shroom, in my opinion, to really call him an alter ego. Because at the end of the day, I really feel like Lil Shroom is just Trippie Sack with a different name. You know what I mean? And so I really needed to dig into that different personality. You know what I mean? Like it's all about the voice also. You know what I mean? Like lean back, baby, go ahead and put your seat back, put your phone. Like that's some Lil Shroom shit. And it's also like, don't know what I'm gonna do with all this money once I get it. Maybe I'll buy a crib or a whip, or maybe I'll invest it. Like Lil Shroom is woke. You know what I mean? Like Trippie Sack is woke too, but like Lil Shroom is woke as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, right. Facts. And like Trippie Sack is also more of a producer in my opinion. I guess that would be the biggest like divide. Trippie Sack produces shit. You know what I mean? Lil Shroom doesn't have, I don't think, many production credits. You know what I mean? Lil Shroom is just a rapper. You know what I mean? Right. Lil Shroom's just a rapper. You know.
What are your goals for the rest of the year going into it?
Claim my crown in Charleston. Tour at the end of the year, hopefully, and really fucking start putting up numbers. You know what I mean? Like I've been putting up numbers, but I'm really trying to put up numbers. You know what I mean? Right. Those are the biggest 3 goals. Another goal is like really like dig into my community down here in Charleston. You know what I mean? And like really do that networking and like show people like what the fuck is up. You know what I mean? Because like people already know what the fuck is up. Like they can feel the energy when they walk in the room. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not even saying that as like a cocky guy, but more of like I just know who I am. You know what I mean? And I know the role I'm supposed to play. You know what I mean? And I know that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? People are gonna get mad once I start calling myself the King of Charleston. But bro, like who else is gonna be the King of Charleston? You know what I mean? Who else is gonna be it? Nobody. Nobody that I know yet. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, everybody should be their own king in their own book. But I'm the fucking King of Charleston. That's just what it is.
Right. That's all I got. That's all the questions I have and everything like that.
Word.
I mean, that turned out fire, though. We talked for like an hour.
Facts, bro.
I did like 50 minutes.
I felt like that was a really good interview. Like you're good. You're good at this shit, bro. This is your calling, bro.
I appreciate that. I've been thinking that too. I've been really excited about interviewing people, and I have like a list of people I want to interview, from like people who like paint and everything like that, and people there's a dude with a really sick clothing brand. Now that purple hoodie that I have, you know the one I'm talking about, that has like that face melting on it and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I wear it like 5 times a fucking week. I love that hoodie.
That's fire though. That like it doesn't even have to be just musical, but it can be like something more like artistic fashion. You know what I mean? Paint being more of that like label guy, but like also being that artist. Payne is going to be an awesome interview for you because Payne, shout out Payne, big shout out Payne, because that ass, if it wasn't for Payne, I wouldn't be the artist I am today, bro. He gave me a home within WTF that I could translate into like, you know, he planted the seed low key for elevator jams. Like it's not the same thing, but it's rooted in the whole idea of like, we want to build families, bro. And like my first family in Orlando came from Hippie Hideout, bro. My confidence came from Hippie Hideout, bro. Like I remember the first one, like, I didn't know nobody. Payne said hi, like, what's up? Let me introduce you to a couple people. Second Hippie Hideout, a couple people said, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? Third Hippie Hideout was like, I didn't even say hi to anybody. People said hi to me, and I was like, whoa, like, shit, like, okay. And then when I fucking, bro, like, I feel like the culmination of like my Hippie Hideout experience was like when I headlined for Hippie Hideout, bro. Like, I fucking like right before my set, I was DJing for Kill Set, and right after their set, I changed into my church robes, and I came out on the scene like Niggas were like, what is he about to do? Like, he's in his church robes. I'm looking crazy. I just got this new haircut. And people are like, bro, he's about to do some shit, bro. I sang confessions. People who hadn't heard me before heard the opera part. They were like, whoa, like I've never heard anybody do this. You know what I mean? In my life.
And
I mean,
people losing their minds when you started singing like that. I was people, yeah, it's exactly what
you
you
were
thought.
you were at that show, weren't you?
I was there. That's what I'm saying. People around me were like, "What's this kid wearing?" And I was like, "Yo, just we'll wait till you see what he does."
It's just gonna be crazy, bro. But that's the shit, bro. Like, bro, if it wasn't for pain, I wouldn't have that confidence to do that, bro. And by doing that, I feel like I really did a lot for Orlando. You know what I mean? Like, and like, it's just a full circle. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's not about the triangle, bro. It's about the circle, bro. Straight up.
But yeah, I fuck with that. I got to figure out
because
like,
low-key, like I haven't even talked to Payne about this, but I know for a fact he believes it the way I do. He doesn't view himself as the top of the pyramid who is putting on all these artists. He views himself as just one of those artists that is in the same group that he's building. You know what I mean? That's a big difference. You know what I mean? Like I personally know like label owners or like management down here in Charleston who view themselves as the eye of the pyramid, and they can say all they want that they're not, but low key like that's just who they are, and like hopefully they can embrace the circle more than the triangle. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's all about moving in circles. That's pillar number. That's pillar number.
That's the big thing about have you been watching the Jordan documentary that they've been doing?
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about Jerry Krause, and he's all about how like it's a great organization and the players are only part of like winning the championships and shit like that. And he really kind of it's like he puts himself at the top of that pyramid for putting those people together. But if he just put a bunch of random people together that weren't great at basketball, then what like that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like he just assembled like a great group of people, and that might be a skill to see that in people, but you can't take credit for what you do with actually doing that.
That role in and of itself is very important because check like being a choir boy, because that's when the dream for music as a profession started, like joining choir again as a junior in high school. Like it seems like that pyramid, you know what I mean? There's the singers, and then there's one guy who you rely on, you know what I mean, to like, you know what I mean, to be that guy who's going to keep us all together. At the very same time, every single person is individually responsible for practicing, knowing their part, being a good singer, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so like, yes, we couldn't survive without Mr. Bennett, you know what I mean? But we wouldn't be the same choir without anybody else in the choir. You know what I mean? Like if Chance is gone, it's a different choir. If I'm gone, it's a different choir. If Anthony's gone, it's a different choir. If Lucas is gone, it's a different choir, bro. And that's why every year we have a different choir because niggas graduate. You know what I mean? So it's just growth, and you know what I mean, just fluctuation. Sometimes, you know what I mean, like everybody who's good is a senior, but then like don't worry about it. In a couple of years, everybody who's good, you know what I mean? It just up and down, up and down. And so like
between
like that choir is definitely more of a circle, even though it's structured and it seems like a pyramid. You know what I mean? Like basketball teams, a good coach might seem like eye of the pyramid and then the players, but like if you've seen Miracle, it's more about that, bro. Miracle, bro. I think you've seen that movie, right?
Which one? Miracle on about the hockey team?
1980.
Yeah.
Where it's like the dude's like blah 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 blah, United States of America. You know what I mean? Like he waited for that, bro. You know what I mean? He waited for people to stop talking about where they're from and where they are. You know what I mean? Because I don't play for University of Boston anymore. I play for the United States of America on some Olympics shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't play for myself, bro. I play for my city. And yeah, I play for myself, obviously. Everybody plays for themselves.
Sure, you gotta look out
for my city, and I play for my family. That's elevator jam shit. You know what I mean? I will take care of my people to the day I die. You know what I mean? Like that's just fundamentally what I believe in.
That's the difference between a leader and like a great leader. You know what I mean? Because even if it is like you're saying, like some things all kind of built like a pyramid, where one person is kind of how should I say this? People are relying on that one person, but that one person also realized that he has to rely on them. And then that's the kind of that's what kind of changes that from a pyramid to a circle. Exactly. Is that when you realize like, yeah, these people need me, but if I didn't have Jerry Krause, didn't have Michael Jordan, he wouldn't have 6 championships. You know what I mean? Like it's exactly what you're talking about. Where like if he realized that and gave Scottie Pippen a better contract, that circle would have stayed stronger and longer, and the organization would have got more money, more championships, and more opportunities to keep building that great team because they're an organization that people want to play for. Comparatively to just like I got my wins, I got my money now, and I hate this guy, so he's out of here. And if Jordan has to leave with him, fine, whatever. It's like
hashtag LeBron. No offense.
And Jordan, you taking that?
Just a little bit. Just I don't even follow basketball like that. I'm just.
I thought that too. Well, I always thought Kobe was better than both of them, personally.
Kobe's just a very hard worker. Very hard worker.
Kobe, but even in the documentary, Kobe's like, people like say that I'm better than Jordan, but without Jordan, I wouldn't be the player I am. So you know what I mean? It's one of those things where like, yeah, it's a pyramid.
Like me and Dave, bro.
It's a leader for young NBA stars. You know what I mean? He was just like, I'm here to teach everybody how to be the best they can be. And if people get better than me, then that's the point. That's progression. You know what I mean?
That's fire, bro. Because that what you just said is like how I view me and Dave's relationship, me and MJ Steph. Because like, bro, like I don't know who's Jordan, I don't know who's Kobe, but at the end of the day, if he wasn't inspiring me, then I wouldn't inspire him, bro. You know what I mean? If he wouldn't be so determined to be the best, I wouldn't be so determined to beat him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like beat him. You know what I mean? But like, you know what I mean? It's just like it's that whole back and forth like Naruto Sasuke shit. You know what I mean? Like shout out my anime nerds. You know what I mean? But like people know what the fuck is up with Naruto, bro. Like I started the rap shit when I started Naruto, bro, and that shit, bro. That just makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like rivalry will bring you to your strongest point. You know what I mean? Like I have to be the strongest, so I'm not gonna lose. You know what I mean? And at the very, very end, the very final fight of Naruto and Sasuke, they fucking tied. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like they both lost the arm. They both lost a whole fucking limb, bro.
Is that what happens? I wasn't gonna lie.
Yeah, and finally, in a sense, Naruto wins because he won over Sasuke, which was the whole plot of everything. Like Sasuke left the village to like darken his heart for strength. You know what I mean? And over time, like Naruto like didn't give up on Sasuke. He knows that he can bring him back. You know what I mean? Like you belong with our family. You know what I mean? And Naruto fucking fought for that to the day he fucking did. And bro, that's such a beautiful show. Like if you haven't watched Naruto and you're trying to do this music shit, I promise Naruto, watch it. Watch it. That's gonna inspire you to keep going. That's gonna inspire you to keep doing your thing.
I gotta watch that show. I always hear all about it. That Uzi song was named after Sasuke. That just came out.
Facts. I saw this picture of like half Sasuke being Uzi and like half Naruto being Cardi. I was like,
But he never dropped that album either, Cardi.
Bro, Cardi's on some shit. I gotta say.
Cardi, I don't know what's up. Did you hear the new Drake, John?
Pain, 1993.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what it sounded like, but I knew it was fire.
You liked it?
Yeah.
I saw people hating it.
I just got.
Cardi's
I take another listen.
I don't know because people are just like they hate the baby voice now. That little high pitched thing he does.
Bro,
and people are like I hate this, but like he dropped that.
People hated bro. People hated Sasuke too.
What happened?
Yeah, I said people hated Sasuke too. They were making memes about like what's it called? Uzi dropped Sasuke to see who could have the worst single between him and Playboy Cardi. They're talking about At Me. That shit was funny as fuck. I'm like, bro, whatever. But yeah, I don't. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is what I'm doing. I gotta find a way to record this better because, like, it's just like I might have to transcript. Like to me, the interview ended like half an hour ago, but like this should all pretty much be in there. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of we're still talking about what we were talking about before.
I don't think it would be a bad idea to just leave it completely unedited. You know what I mean? Just like on some Joe Rogan shit. You know what I mean? But
the whole hour and a half, like just.
Yeah, fuck it. You know what I mean?